Back from the break, I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're watching NewsX. Happy Independence Day to all our viewers. India is celebrating the 71st Independence Day today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoisted the tricolour for the fourth time from the ramparts of the Red Fort in the national capital, and in his address to the nation, the Prime Minister touched upon a host of issues. He pledged for a new India which is secure and strong. The PM said we have to take the nation forward with the resolve of creating a new India. The PM also invoked the issue of terrorism and said that the world is with India in its fight against terror.
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, आजादी के पावन पर्व पर देशवासियों को कोटि-कोटि शुभकामनाएं। आज पूरा देश स्वातंत्र्य पर्व के साथ साथ जन्माष्टमी का पर्व भी मना रहा है। अभी पिछले सप्ताह ही क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट के 75 साल हमने स्मरण किया। ये वर्ष है जब चंपारण सत्याग्रह की शताब्दी मना रहे हैं। ये वर्ष है जब साबरमती आश्रम की शताब्दी का भी वर्ष है। ये वर्ष है जब लोकमान्य तिलक जी, जिन्होंने कहा था स्वराज्य मेरा जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है, और जनचेतना जगाने के लिए सार्वजनिक गणेशोत्सव की परंपरा को प्रारंभ किया था, उसको भी 125वां वर्ष है। एक प्रकार से इतिहास की ऐसी तवारीख है जिसका स्मरण, जिसका बोधपाठ हमें देश के लिए कुछ न कुछ करने की प्रेरणा देता है। हम आजादी का 70 वर्ष और 2022 में आजादी के 75 साल, 1942 से 1947 देश ने एक सामूहिक शक्ति का प्रदर्शन किया, अंग्रेजों के नाक को दम ला दिया, और 5 साल के भीतर भीतर अंग्रेजों को हिंदुस्तान छोड़ करके जाना पड़ा। हमें आजादी के 75 साल के 5 साल अभी हमारे पास है। हमारी सामूहिक संकल्प शक्ति, हमारा सामूहिक पुरुषार्थ, हमारी सामूहिक प्रतिबद्धता उन महान देशभक्तों को याद करते हुए परिश्रम की पराकाष्ठा 2022 में आजादी के दीवानों के सपनों के अनुरूप भारत बनाने के लिए काम आ सकती है। और इसलिए न्यू इंडिया का एक संकल्प लेकर के हमें देश को आगे बढ़ाना है। 125 करोड़ देशवासियों के संकल्प से, 125 करोड़ देशवासियों के पुरुषार्थ से, 125 करोड़ देशवासियों के त्याग और तपस्या से सामूहिकता की शक्ति क्या होती है। भगवान कृष्ण कितने ही सामर्थ्यवान थे, लेकिन जब ग्वाले अपनी लकड़ी लेकर के खड़े हो गए, एक सामूहिक शक्ति थी, गोवर्धन पर्वत उठा लिया। प्रभु रामचंद्र जी को लंका जाना था, वानर सेना के छोटे छोटे लोग लग गए, राम सेतु बन गया, राम जी लंका पहुंच गए। एक मोहनदास करमचंद गांधी थे, देश के कोटि कोटि लोग हाथ में तकली लेकर के, रुई लेकर के, हाथ में तकली लेकर के, रुई लेकर के आजादी के ताने बाने बुनते थे। एक सामूहिक शक्ति की ताकत थी कि देश आजाद हो गया। कोई छोटा नहीं होता, कोई बड़ा नहीं होता। अरे एक गिलहरी का उदाहरण हमें मालूम है, एक गिलहरी भी परिवर्तन की प्रक्रिया की हिस्सेदार बनती है। वो कथा हम सब जानते हैं। और इसलिए 125 करोड़ देशवासियों में न कोई छोटा है न कोई बड़ा है, हर कोई अपनी जगह से 2022 के आजादी के बाद के 75 साल एक नया संकल्प, नया इंडिया, नई ऊर्जा, नया पुरुषार्थ, सामूहिक शक्ति के द्वारा हम देश में परिवर्तन ला सकते हैं। हमारे लिए भी अगर मन का विश्वास पक्का होगा, उज्जवल भारत के लिए हम संकल्पबद्ध होंगे, तो मैं नहीं मानता हूं कि जो पहले से हम बार बार निराशा से पले बढ़े हैं, अब हमें आत्मविश्वास से आगे बढ़ना है। हमें निराशा को छोड़ना है। चलता है, ये तो ठीक है, अरे चलने दो। मैं समझता हूं चलता है का जमाना चला गया, अब तो आवाज यही उठे कि बदला है, बदल रहा है, बदल सकता है।
Right, well, that of course were some excerpts from the Prime Minister's address earlier this morning from the Red Fort, talking upon a host of issues. We have of course a panel still with us, senior journalist Pradeep Mathur and Naveen Upadhyay with us in our studios. Political analyst Kalyani Shankar is also in our studios. We have Syed Afzal Abbas of the JDU joining us now in our studios. Welcome. Good morning, Syed Saab. We also have Ami Ajnik, Congress spokesperson, joining us live from Ahmedabad this morning. I want to start out by asking you, Ami Ajnik, what did you make of the Prime Minister's address? What is the Congress's opinion on the 1 hour long speech of the Prime Ministers from the Red Fort this morning?
Good morning and happy Independence Day to all who are watching and my esteemed panelists. Yes, I think it is one more speech of the Honorable Prime Minister, and I think there were a lot of good promises, but I think there was little data on the ground reality which matched the review of the last 4 years, and too much of kind of a rhetoric which I did as a citizen of India, as a citizen of 70-year independent country, expected more of really good, I think, promise with supporting some kind of actions and real issues rather than talking about demonetization or GST, which of course is yet to be tested and no real figures are coming out of the RBI, or we did not even hear something about what he's doing for the children. He did not mention those. In fact, if talked about women's safety, he talked only about the triple talaq issue, which is in the legal and judicial arena. But most of it, I think I did not. I don't know whether I should be saying this, but some of the language, you know, I think from the Red Fort of an Honorable Prime Minister comparing to some other Prime Minister's speech, I think some things could have been avoided. But otherwise, it was full of promises like the Skill India, Make in India, Startup India. Now we have a new India slogan, but I think he did not touch upon the actual reality that has happened in 4 years, and that should have been the message to everyone. I know it is talking about inclusive India. We have been an inclusive India for the past 70 years.
So the Congress clearly not very happy with the Prime Minister's speech this morning. Just stay with us, please. We have some breaking news coming in. I want to quickly go across to that. With us for further coverage on, of course, the Independence Day today and the Prime Minister's address from the ramparts of the Red Fort, Suresh Nakua, spokesperson of the BJP, is also joining us this morning from Mumbai. Mr. Nakua, the Congress not very pleased with the Prime Minister's address. You heard what Ami Ajnik was saying earlier. What is your response? Analysts, of course, welcoming the Prime Minister's address, saying that he has spoken like a statesman today. He could have touched upon more issues, but what do you make of the Congress's criticism?
Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki jai. First of all, let me wish all viewers a happy Independence Day. Now coming to the statements made by a Congress spokesperson, they are just doing the nitpicking. Red Fort is not a place where your policy announcements or policy details would be announced. Okay, PM has made a very good speech. He has touched upon all the relevant points, and we can discuss it further if he wants.
Okay, and do you feel that it was a statesman-like address, Mr. Nakua, the Prime Minister setting the tone and tenor possibly for 2019 as well, touching upon a host of schemes, of course, that the government has embarked upon, not announcing any new schemes for now, but also speaking like a statesman, talking to the entire country as a whole, saying that it's time to come together as one to work for a better India, hopefully a new India by 2022.
We are already moving towards the new India, and we are looking far ahead of 2019, 2024 and 2029 also.
Okay, Syed Afzal Abbas of the JDU. Sir, JDU का क्या मानना है स्पीच पे? अब तो आप मोदी जी के मित्र बन गए हैं, बट फिर भी आपसे पूछेंगे कि आपका क्या कहना है इस पूरे स्पीच पे? What did you make of it?
सबसे पहले आपके चैनल के जरिए पूरे देशवासियों को यौम आजादी की मुबारकबाद पेश कर रहा हूँ, और जितने पैनल में बैठे सबके लिए। जहां तक चूंकि रास्ते में तो पूरा स्पीच मैंने सुना नहीं, लेकिन दो तीन बातें मुझे अच्छी लगी। लेकिन जो प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा, एक तो यह कि आस्था के प्रबंध में इशू उठाया, और भी सारे जो मुद्दे उठाया, लेकिन उसको पूरा करने के लिए वक्त तो लगेगा ही। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जितनी बातें कर रहे हैं उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए वक्त चाहिए। जनता दल यूनाइटेड के प्रवक्ता होने के नाते, और लोग जो है वो बोलेंगे मैं तो प्रवक्ता हूं नहीं, लेकिन पार्टी के पदाधिकारी होने के नाते देश के प्रधानमंत्री को मौका मिलना चाहिए, और जो कर रहे हैं देश हित में अच्छा है। बहरकैफ कुछ कमियां रही हैं, आस्था के नाम पर जो भी 3-4 साल के अंदर में जो भी इंसिडेंट हुआ है वो शेमफुल था। उसको रोकने की जो कोशिश है कि अवाम में पैगाम जो देने की कोशिश की है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने, वो सराहनीय कदम है।
So Ms. Shankar, obviously people appreciating the fact that the Prime Minister touched upon issues like that. These are contentious issues. These are issues which the opposition could have turned around and said, why didn't you talk about this? You had the occasion of the Red Fort address, and there were already questions being asked yesterday, that press conference by Ajay Make, and he said, will the Prime Minister mention Gorakhpur or not? So he spoke about all these issues, and also, of course, touched upon, as the JDU leader said, the issue of violence in the name of faith.
Well, you see, he had to do this, otherwise, the speech would have no meaning. So he must have realized that he just simply could not ignore Gorakhpur incident, because after all, UP has given the BJP the maximum number. It's a big, huge mandate, and they are responsible for delivering things there. So that is the reason I am sure he not only did this, he had also deputed his health minister to Gorakhpur immediately. And he tried to show all these that shows the nervousness that BJP cannot afford to ignore UP. So no wonder he did that. About the violence, if he had not talked here, where else could he talk about? Just tweeting is not going to help. And this Independence Day speech is most important for most of the prime ministers, because this is the occasion they try to tell the nation what they have done and what they are going to do. So to that extent, I have seen many prime ministers making preparations for the speeches, and that is why quite often it is a long speech. This time also it's about 1 hour, is not too short. So I think he has decided not to touch upon the more contentious issues, and limited himself to whatever he wanted to talk about. There are, of course, lot of expectation about jobs, which he has not touched upon. Manufacturing is really going down, and there are so many things in the economy which he did not touch upon. And one would have expected him to talk about at least the jobs, if not anything else. And there are new schemes also for the job generation. Okay. So I'm quite disappointed in that aspect.
I'll come to the economy. And I'll raise that with Mr. Nakua of the BJP. But Amiben Yagnik, were you satisfied at least that the Prime Minister did decide to raise issues like Gorakhpur, did decide to raise issues of violence in the name of faith? Is that enough according to you? Are you satisfied that he raised them at least?
No, definitely. I did say that the speech covered a lot of aspects which affected the nation. He also put the review of his last 4 years of rule. But just touching upon these subjects or touching upon these issues, but not telling actually that, yes, I am going to deal, this government is going to deal with these issues in 1, 2, 3 points. Just as you said that there's going to be a portal, very fine, that was a very fine announcement for the army. Somebody from the Jawans is going to do a wonderful job. And then also talking about Digital India. But then what happened to Digital India? What happened to Skill India? What happened to Make in India? See, you go on talking about every new scheme or every new concept you come on a yearly basis, but then you expect that the country wants to know what happened to those things, because unemployment is on the rise, violence against women is on the rise, crimes against women is on the rise, there is mobocracy, there is lynching. I think those points the nation wants to know. What does the Prime Minister feel when he talks about inclusive India or talking about Sabka Saath Saath Mein Chalenge, because he used the word Vikas, I think only
but he
once
says,
in this
but he has said, of course, Ms. Yagnik, Bharat Jodo ka prayas karna chahiye. He's also spoken earlier on the issue of lynchings. Is that enough? Not enough according to you? You feel there should be more follow-up? Clearly?
Yes, I think the nation wants to know that, yes, when we have such a strong speech from a strong Prime Minister, what is the follow-up? What are the actions? Why are people expecting more? Why they are thinking that it is just one more speech?
Mr.
Why
Nakua,
is there no data?
Mr. Nakua of the BJP,
He talked about
respond to
corruption,
that.
black money, sit. But what about the Lokayuk, Lokpal? What about the Lokpal?
Suresh
happened?
Nakua,
So these are
come
the
in there,
things the
sir.
nation should know. And of course, it was a very good speech.
Madam, Amiji, Digital India, Make in India, Skill in India, all are going on and all are going on in full form. If you aren't aware, I should inform you that under Mudra Yojana, more than 2.5 crore beneficiaries have been given with loans, and that is generating your employment. But you know, people who are more interested in going to resorts and staying over there instead of helping their own people in floods would not understand this.
We are talking about data here. The nation only wants to know why there is so much unemployment if there was so
Madam,
much
just shouting
employment
nation only wants to know or nation wants to know won't make you correct.
You have to show what happened before 2014 and what was the then carry forward. You cannot take the whole number as your own number. But I am not on that. I am not talking about that. I am saying that the Honorable Prime Minister
just gave you one data point of Mudra Yojana. I can talk about Ujjwala Yojana. I can talk about Power for All. For 65 years, more than 65 years, villages were living in darkness.
Yes.
By 2018, we will be having all villages electrified.
I don't think so. You
more.
should say this kind of wrong data is not okay on today on Independence Day. No wrong data, please.
Okay, let me quickly come back to our panel in the studio as well. Let me quickly come back to our panel in the studio as well at this point. Naveen Upadhyay, is this the tone and tenor for the Prime Minister going ahead to 2019 as well? Has he set the tone and tenor for the next elections, the next general elections?
Of course, I mean, it's obvious. I think the Prime Minister has always, I mean, not today, I think every speech is political speech. And to that extent, I mean, this was a perfect occasion, you know. I found one thing missing in this speech, you know, very interesting, that the entire 2014 campaign, one of the main theme of the Prime Minister's campaign in the general election was getting the black money from abroad, from foreign money which was stashed abroad. You know, the Prime Minister today talked about this demonetization and how it impacted the Indian economy and the steps which have been taken for uprooting corruption.
Yeah.
But there was no mention. I think, is it admission on behalf of the government that the people who looted this country, the bureaucrats and politicians who plundered this country and stashed away billions and billions of rupees abroad, I think they are going to be, you know, let off. I mean, you are cracking down on small hoarders here, there, middle class people. But the people who really looted this country, and the Prime Minister and the party president and everybody went to the town promising that the money will be brought back. As an Indian, I would like to know what happened to that promise. You know, second thing, about this economy, I think the Prime Minister has made good announcement, recounted how things have changed.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of things have been changed, and political parties can go on abusing the government that they have not done anything. I will not do that. As a journalist, I can see a lot of changes which have come. But, you know, employment front, I think we have been talking about unemployment and growth. We have been trying to link. You know, the opposition parties are saying growth and no employment. But I think, you know, if you look at the economic survey, I think even on the growth front, there are worrying signs.
Okay.
I think we are
Interestingly, Pradeep Mathur, he also, of course, spoke about encouraging youth to not just necessarily be job seekers. You're, of course, talking about jobs and how they're needed, but he said the youth needs to become job creators, also help in making a Sashakt Bharat and making a Bharat which can employ others. What did you make of that suggestion?
In fact, the whole discussion about economics is has to be done in a more serious manner. The important thing is that fine, you want youth to be self-employed, but we have not made getting the credit from the bank any easy. I know certain case in which one person known to me, he has been trying to get bank credit, just 10 lakhs of rupees, and for 2 months he has not been done. Bank walas and others, they also want a commission and all that. So it is easier said that you do it, being self-employed and all that. The fact is that, unfortunately, very unfortunately, on unemployment front, we have not been able to do much. And this is the core area of the program. I'll just say one more minute. Now we are talking about the Kamral thing which he said about it. As I said, I would just like to tell you one thing. PM, if he is really earnest about putting an end to this Kamral violence, of any variety, he has to be much more categorical, one thing. And then he also has to give proof by putting some bad mouths in BJP who have been talking all sorts of rubbish things against Muslims and all that. He has to discipline them. If to one MP who has been talking like this, or any other leader who has been, if he has been suspended from the party, then I will take him for his word. Otherwise not.
Okay, I will just get to security now with Lieutenant Rakesh Sharma, Defence and Strategic Expert, who is joining us in our studios. Welcome, sir, to the broadcast. Lieutenant Sharma, what did you make of the Prime Minister's speech, firstly, and then, of course, I'll get to some specific questions. Your overall assessment of his speech.
I think, if you ask me, it was a very broad-based speech, and as it is, you know, he has a charisma, he carries the audience with him, the people with him. It means a lot. To me, it was a holistic speech. He covered a large number of issues and a broad-based speech. He addressed the issues of development, he addressed the issues of the programs that were ongoing for quite some time, and also addressed the issues of, say, communal violence, as you said. He also mentioned about what's happening in Gorakhpur. He mentioned Kashmir at length. So, you know, I think it was a holistic speech in many manners, and Prime Minister has a finite amount of time. There are 1,000 more issues that he can cover. Yeah. But actually all that need not be covered in the same speech on the ramparts of the Red Fort. It can be spoken in some other length and some other forum.
And of course, speaking on security and terror, the Prime Minister did, of course, say that the world is standing with India on the issue of terror. He also spoke about the fact after surgical strikes, the whole world acknowledges India's seriousness over the issue and India's resolve to go to whatever length to combat terror.
True. Frankly, it shows signs of boldness which this government has shown for quite some time, and he is wanting to tell. I mean, I gathered it that there is great amount of interaction that is there between the foreign countries and our own nation, which I read from what the speech from the Prime Minister, where he says that we have a large amount of inputs coming to us and we are able to take action of it. So there is a kind of relationship developed on issues of terrorism itself, which one can read into what he has been saying. It means a lot to us, because it's very essential for us to nip the financial conduits in the bud, as they say.
Well, he did, of course, speak about Jammu and Kashmir as well, and I want to quickly explore that, but we have to slip into a very quick break. We're back after that with our special panel, our continuous coverage on this Independence Day after this break.